evolution is just a theory. I had actually a few things that I was going to say about this myself, but a friend of mine named Harley Moore made a post about this once, and it always kind of stuck with me because, well, I just find it to be very truthful. He says, "I will make a deal with science-bashing Christians right now. I'll put my money where my mouth is. I will never say another negative thing about you or your beliefs if you agree that, from now on, whenever you break a bone or catch the flu, you go to church and not a hospital. I'm the atheist. I'll take my chances with all those MRIs and vaccines and antibiotics and x-rays and DNA studies. You go see Reverend Jim Bob about your kidney problems. Deal?" They can't have it both ways. They can't shit all over science when it comes to evolution and astronomy and then rely on science to save their asses when they get sick. You don't get to pick and choose like that. Somebody who has no issue ignorantly proclaiming that evolution is just a theory goes and gets updated flu shots, not seeming to have any intellectual problem with the fact that flu vaccines have to be constantly updated because of evolution. I just totally disagree with the whole having your cake and eating it too, picking and choosing thing, taking one thing literally but not another. I think it's a cheap, easy way out. Having the faith and comfort to get through the hard times and feel good while also trying to seem logical. To each his own, I guess. A lot of people seem to get through life just fine that way. Personally, I can't do it. I think what the age-old argument comes down to, and always has, is fear. Most people are extremely uncomfortable with the idea that we aren't that important. The universe wasn't created for us. Given the choice between believing that we are special and the center of the everything and the most powerful being imaginable loves and cares for each of us, and believing that we are just an unimportant accident on a speck of dust that is an invisible form just a short astronomical distance away, that the nature of reality might not even be fathomable by our minds, ever, most people are going to go with the former. Hey, sometimes I even envy that. And I honestly don't get off on being the asshole who shoots people down. But my fluke mentality insists that the latter is probably correct. I'm thankful that we are capable of understanding even a small portion of what's around us. Science probably will never be able to explain everything, and I'm perfectly okay with that. It doesn't have to. What I'm not going to do is believe that I have a personal relationship with a 2,000-year-old dead Jew just because we haven't figured everything out yet that science needs to explain. I couldn't agree more. The issues of belief, the issues of faith, the issues of knowledge, the issues of what you're going to claim that you know, really boils down to how much you're willing to just take everything on a feeling. Because science demonstrates what is knowable. Science demonstrates what can be demonstrated to be true. Religion does not. When people make claims about science being wrong only because it disagrees with their religious views, there is obviously an indication of a biased problem there. How many prayers for sick people do people think are answered? Countless. Every religious person in the hospital praying for their loved ones, they think that their prayers are answered, and even when it's not answered the way they want, of course, the old comeback is, well, God works in mysterious ways, and God has a plan, or, of course, well, God knew that this person would be better in heaven if it ends up becoming mortal. And I challenge anyone to do a count of how many people praying for lost appendages to grow back actually get their prayers answered with a grown back limb. How many amputees have successfully grown limbs come back at all, but as a result of prayer? I am willing to stake my entire livelihood on 0. Prove me wrong. Evolution is not just a theory in the way that you guys think it is. And the fact that you don't understand that the word theory has different meanings in different contexts is just sad, and is more indication that you theists are ignorant, uneducated, and most of the time unwilling to correct that. And that in itself is the problem. The unwillingness to recognize that you are not educated and educate yourself. And therein lies another problem with religion too, is that you think that you know stuff that you don't. It's a false arrogance. I mean, arrogance is never good to begin with, but it's a false arrogance because it convinces people that they know stuff that they don't. And if you think you know everything, you're not going to be inclined to understanding or recognizing even that you're not educated, and therefore take the chance to educate yourself. It's kind of a catch-22. And that's all I got for this video. You guys really need to think about what you say, because just making statements about things not being what they are because you don't like them doesn't make it so. Later.